Oh my goodness, good morning, good morning-ish, afternoon, beginning, whatever you want to call it, wherever you are. Good Sunday, football Sunday. So, I'm going to tell you, I have had, a really rough week. I've had a really rough week, and I'm going to talk about it. Because I'm pretty transparent. I don't hide things going on in my life. I'm pretty transparent. So, my week started off kind of rough and rocky. I've been with this dude for a little while now, and I don't want to call it an entanglement because it's not an entanglement. He knows my situation. He knows my situation with Harry. He knows the whole deal there. In fact, that's where I'm going now. I'm going to check on Harry's parents because despite the things between Harry and I adore his parents. I love his parents. I will always check on his parents. But anyway, so my week started off kind of rough and rocky, like me and old boy. We've been fighting a lot lately, and I actually had this conversation with LA the other day because the thing about my dude is very controlling. He's a very, very controlling and manipulative dude, right? And he's used to women that he can tell what to do, and they do it. He's used to that. He's used to telling like a bitch to jump, and she says how high. He's not used to me. I challenge him. I'm a huge challenge to him because I have a mouthpiece and I use it. I'm not afraid. I will fight a man. I'm not afraid to talk back. And that's not what he's used to. He's not used to somebody who talks back to him. He's not used to somebody who tells him no. He's not used to somebody who will be like, okay, I'll go my own way. See you later. Have a nice life. He's not used to that. Right. It's the small stuff, right? So I challenge him, and he does not know what to do with me. Like he's like, you're mouthy, you're disrespectful. Well, of course I am, because that's me, and I'm not a yes bitch. I'm not a yes ma'am. I'm not a yes sir. I'm a do as I please kind of female. So the week with him, it started off kind of rough, and I had this conversation with LA, and I told LA, I'm like, man, I don't know what to do with this dude. Like I don't know. It was just really a really complicated situation with him. So um, on Monday, or actually it was Sunday, a week ago today, my daddy fell, and he literally like face planted on the concrete at his house, and he broke like four of his teeth, and he broke his nose and his eye socket, and his face was all bruised up and swollen, and his face was all cut up. He had a big gash in his head. He ended up with a concussion, and all this stuff going on. So on Monday night, I stayed at my daddy's house, and I stayed with them. I watched the football game with them, and then I stayed with them that night to kind of keep an eye on him, right? Well, old boy was like accusing me of being out and cheating on him, and I'm like, dude, I'm with my father. This is a situation. You call me on FaceTime all the time to verify I am where I say that I am, and yet you won't FaceTime me so I can prove to you that I'm with my father. But it is what it is. I don't give a fuck. My daddy does not come second. My daddy is not second to no man. My daddy is number one man, and my sons. Those are the only three men in my life that I am 100% committed to. My daddy and my two boys. So that situation happened. So we ended up breaking up. We ended up breaking up because he didn't believe me. He thought I was out cheating. Whoop-de-woo, whatever. So anyway, I wasn't asking Lamar for advice. It was just a conversation that we were having. So anyway, well, I guess in a way I kind of was like trying to feel out like why dudes act the way they act. But anyway, as the week went on, me and old boy, we broke up, right? We decided to go our own separate ways. So then on Thursday, my daughter is 31 weeks pregnant. Okay, I left work to take my daddy to the doctor, and on my way home from taking my daddy to the doctor and taking him back home, my daughter called me, and my daughter was like, "Mama, something fell out of me," and I'm like, "The fuck are you talking about? Something fell out of you? What do you mean something fell? Like what? Like an arm? Like a foot? Like a leg? Like a head? Like a baby? Like what fell out of you?" She's 31 weeks pregnant. She's like, I don't know. I don't know what this is. So she sent me a picture. And she's like, Mama, my back hurts and it's going all the way around to the front of my stomach. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So I looked at the picture, and if you're a female that's ever had a child, or if you're a father that's ever been with the mother of your child, then you know what this is. She lost what's called her mucus plug, and she started having contractions. Now, mind you, she's 9 weeks early, okay? She's 9 weeks until her due date, which, to be honest, her having a premature labor would not be a surprise to me because my daughter was born 8.5 weeks early. So I drop my daddy off at home. I rush out to pick up my daughter. I take my daughter back to the same hospital I just left with for my daddy. And they, because she's 31 weeks pregnant, they immediately took her up to labor and delivery. They would not let me go up there with her because of COVID-19. They're like, we're going to check her out. We'll find out what's going on, and we'll keep you posted and let you know. So they had me waiting in this waiting room. Well, it turns out that, they did an ultrasound. The baby was fine. The baby was not in any distress. Her heart rate was good. My daughter was not in any distress. Their main concern was stopping the contractions to, prevent her from going into labor 9 weeks early. So they had her hooked up to all the monitors. They were watching her. They decided to admit her. My daughter's been in the hospital. She's still in the hospital. She's been in the hospital since Thursday last week, where they're stopping her labor. At this point in time, she's having no more contractions. She's doing well. The baby's still doing well. Everything's going good. But they managed to stop her labor, so they are going to discharge her home probably tomorrow, where she'll be on bed rest until the baby's born. So I've been dealing with that. I've been dealing with my daddy, and then, oh boy, in the meantime, even though we broke up, has been causing all this conflict for me as well. And I'm like, I have enough going on in my life right now. I have enough stress between my daughter, my father, to be fighting and arguing over some dumb shit, over some bullshit with you. So Thursday night rolls around after I left from taking my daughter into the hospital, and they let me see her before I left. I had a date Thursday night. I had a date with this other dude. And all we did was watch a football game. We watched the Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bucks game, okay? That's what we did. We watched the Tampa and the Chicago game. So Friday night, oh boy, my current, whatever, I don't know what the fuck we are to this minute. He calls me Friday and he's like, yo, where you at? And I said, I'm headed up north. I'm going to dinner. I'm going to go out to dinner and have some drinks with some girlfriends. And he's like, well, are you going to come get the rest of your stuff from my crib? I said, yeah. And I said, I got some stuff to bring you too. I said, so since I'm headed up north, I'll stop by your place on my way up north. So I'm all dressed up. I got on my little dress and my little shoes and my hair's all done. I'm getting ready to go meet up with some homegirls and have some drinks and dinner and have a night of fun. So I walk into his house and he looks at me. He's like, oh, hell no, shorty. He's like, you ain't going nowhere. I said, excuse me? He's like, call your girlfriends and tell them you're not coming. I said, what are you talking about? You don't control my life. We're not together. We broke up, remember? I get to do whatever the fuck I want to do. You get to do whatever the fuck you want to do. He's like, nah, Cat, it ain't about to work like that. He's like, you ain't going. You need to call your homegirl and tell her you ain't going. He's like, you want to go to dinner? I'll take you to dinner. He's like, you want to go out and dance? I'll take you out and dance. I said, fine, whatever. So I called my girl Ashanti and I'm like, yo, I'm not going to make it up there. Some stuff is going on with, oh boy, I need to handle this business because otherwise he's just going to harass me and follow me all around town because he's a creeper like that. He follows me to gas stations. He watches me inside the gas stations. I'm not dealing with this type of shit. I'm not dealing with some stalker shit this weekend. So I'm going to chill with him and hang out with him and deal with this bullshit. So we go to dinner. We go to the Mexican restaurant, okay? We sit down. We have dinner. And when we got done eating, the waiter brought some to-go boxes for the rest of our food. And he looks at me and he's like, put my food in that box. I said, excuse me? He's like, put my food in that box. I said, you are 48 years old. Your arms are not broken and neither are your hands. Put your own damn food in that box. And this motherfucker gonna say, I'll throw this shit on the floor. I said, well, throw it on the floor. I said, you want to act like a 2-year-old and embarrass the fuck out of yourself? Be my guest. Go right on ahead. I'm not putting your fucking food in no box when your arms and your hands work just fine. The fuck you think I am? I'm not your bitch. I'm not your yes bitch. I said, box up your own shit. And I said, and by the way, you're paying. So he ends up boxing up his own food. We go up there. He pays the bill, whatever. So we leave. He's like, so where you want to go to? I said, I want to go downtown. I said, that's where I want to go tonight. I want to kick it downtown tonight. He's like, fuck it then. Let's go downtown. So we go downtown. Okay. We get down there and he's like, nah, shorty. He's like, it's too pale for me down here tonight. He's like, I don't want to go here. I said, fine. I said, where you want to go? He's like, I don't care. He's like, not here. So we end up going to Grandview. There's a club in Grandview called Virtue. So we end up going to this club called Virtue. This motherfucker acted a whole ass fool. A whole ass fool at the club. Okay? So we're outside in the back. Because they have like the club that's inside where they got like 2 bars and music and dancing and whatever. Then you go outside on a patio where they have a big ass patio with a DJ and a bar and dancing and music and drinks. So I told him, I said, I don't want to be inside because the whole coronavirus thing, it was so packed. I didn't want to be that close to people. So I said, let's go outside on the patio. So that's where we were kicking it. We were kicking it outside on the patio. Well, he is all in my face, accusing me of when I went on a date on Thursday night, accusing me of fucking this dude and sucking his dick and all this shit. I'm like, first of all, if I fucked him, I would have told you that I fucked him because I don't owe you shit. You and I broke up. We're not together. We're out here tonight as friends, as homies. You know, we're not together. So if I would have fucked him, I would have told you that I fucked him because I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. I said, but I didn't do that. So you're not going to stand here in my face and in front of all these people and accuse me of some dumb shit that I didn't fucking do. I'm not about to be for that shit. So he literally grabs me by the back of my head. He had a handful of my hair to where these 2 dudes at another table stood up. And when these dudes stood up, and my dude looked over and seen they stood up, he's like, sit down. He's like, it's cool. And they're like, nah, it don't look too cool from over here. And he's like, nah. He's like, we're good. He's like, this is my girl, you know, whatever. And they're like, well, you shouldn't be handling your girl like that in public, homie. And he's like, nah. He's like, sit down. He's like, sit down, fellas. It's all good. So he lets go of my hair. I'm like, you motherfucker. Now, and let me explain something about myself, okay? Number one, I ain't afraid to fight a fucking man. I'm not afraid to fight a man. And I was not drunk. I couldn't get drunk. I couldn't get happy. Even LA will tell you. When I'm in a club and I'm kicking it, I'm the life of the motherfucking party. I will get that joint jumping. That's what I do. I get hype. I have fun. I love to drink. I love to dance. I love to have a good time. I wasn't feeling it at this point. Like, he had my whole night just fucking ruined. Like, I was not feeling like being the life of the party on this night. So he's like, you ain't gonna dance with me? I said, fuck no, I ain't gonna dance with you. I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with you. And I said, matter of fact, I think I'm gonna go on inside and you can sit out here by yourself. Okay. So I go to walk away. He grabs me by my fucking arm. He's got a hold of my arm. He's like, fuck this. He's like, come on, we out. I said, you go ahead and go. I said, I'm gonna have a good time regardless. Like, I'm not gonna let you keep making me feel like this tonight. Like, you ain't about to ruin my Friday night. I said, matter of fact, I tell you what, because we were in my car. I said, why don't I go ahead and take your ass home? I'm going to go ahead and take your ass home, and I'm going to finish out my Friday nights. So we leave the club. So we're in the car, and he's like, I don't want to go home. He's like, I'm sorry for my behavior. I'm sorry for my actions. I really want to have a good time with you tonight, Kat. Like, I'm not trying to ruin your Friday night. I'm not trying to ruin my Friday night. Like, I just want to have a good time with you. He's like, I love you, and I want things between us to be right. I want to try to work this shit out between us. Whoopsie, whoopsie, woo. So my homegirl calls me. And my homegirl's like, hey, I'm having a party at my house. She's like, why don't you come through? I said, well, I got an old boy with me. She's like, well, bring him along. Just bring him. I'm like, all right. So I tell him, I'm like, yo, my homegirl's having a party. You want to go? He's like, yeah, let's go to your homegirl's party. So we get there, okay? So we walk in the door, and it's my homegirl and her dude, Rashad, and this other dude named Stefan that are, like, right there when we walk in the door. What's up, Mr. Hoskins? So the first thing that happens is, like, I hug my homegirl. I'm like, yo, what's up? And then I hug her dude, Rashad. Well, that pissed my dude off. He grabbed me by my fucking arm in front of my friends and dragged me out the door and said, we out. I'm like, what is, and so my homegirl jumps up and she's like, She's like, hold up. She's like, first of all, she's like, don't you ever touch her like that in my house. And he was like, man, bitch, fuck you. I said, we're leaving. So he just called my friend a bitch, right? So we get back in my car and I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? He's like, I told you. He's like, I don't want no other motherfucker ever putting their hands on you, Kat. He's like, I don't give a fuck if it's a hug. I don't give a fuck if it's a handshake. I don't give a fuck what it is. No other dude needs to be touching you. I'm like, you have lost your rabbit ass mind. You have really lost your fucking mind, dude. Like, These are my friends. I've known them way longer than I've ever known you. I said, you know what? Cool. I'm going to drop your ass off and I'm going back to the party. So I get out to his crib. I drop him off. Here's where it gets even better. What's up, Ted Kennedy? So I drop his ass off at home, right? I hit the highway to come back south to my friend's house. He calls my phone. He's yelling at me, going, where the fuck are you at? How the fuck you just gonna leave? Blah, blah, blah. Fuck this, fuck that, fuck. I said, hold up. I said, first of all, you and I are not together. We broke up. You are you and I am me. And I am not going to put up with any dude treating me the way you fucking have treated me. I don't give a fuck who you are. You are not about to do this shit to me. You're not about to touch me inappropriately. You're not about to call me out my name. You're not about to disrespect my friends. You're not about to disrespect me in public. I done told you I ain't that bitch. I'm not these females that you must have been used to in your life because I'm not the one. So then he starts crying. Now he's crying. He's crying real tears. Fuck you, Kat. I can't believe you about to just do me like this. You don't know how much you've hurt me. You fucked this dude. I said, oh my God, here we go with that bullshit again. I said, I'm going to tell you one more time. If I would have slept with old boy, I would have told you because I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. Like, we are not together. I am me and you are you. So then it goes from crying and begging me to come back to, bitch, you better turn your motherfucking car around, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying not to laugh, but at the same time, he's pissing me the fuck off. Like, the way he's talking to me, I'm getting pissed. I'm getting real pissed. And I want to turn my car around and go back to his house and fight him in his front fucking yard. That's how pissed I'm getting. He's like, get off that fucking highway, turn the fuck around and get your ass back to my house right the fuck now. He's like, I'm not playing with you, Kat. I'm not. I said, oh, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You gonna chase me down the highway again? Because he tried that bullshit once. He tried to chase me down the highway. I said, you gonna chase me down the highway again? He's like, Kat, don't make me show up to your motherfucking crib. I said, I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. You already know that my sons are not for this shit. You already know that my sons are not for this shit. My sons will not have this shit. So it's best you don't come nowhere near my motherfucking house. So again, he goes on and on about me getting off the highway and turning around. So I said, all right, let me go ahead and get off this highway because if this fool comes to my house, it's going to be a problem. My sons are not going to have this shit. So I had to get off the highway. I turn around and go back to his house. I pull up to his house and he ain't even fucking there. Now, mind you, he's on the phone with me the whole time because he won't hang up the phone. So I'm like, well, I'm here. I said, where the fuck are you at? He's like, at the gas station. He's like, what you want from the gas station? I said, honestly, a bottle of water. I said, and I think you need a bottle of water too because you've had enough to drink tonight. You are full. So he gets back. All right, I'm sitting in my car and I see him pull up next to me and park next to me. And I just keep staring straight ahead. Like, I'm not looking at this motherfucking dude. I'm just going to keep my eyes straight forward. I'm not looking at this motherfucker. So he gets out the car. I'm still staring straight ahead. He comes over to my driver's side, knocks on my window. I'm still staring straight ahead. Like, I'm fuming right now. Like, I'm trying not to jump out the car and put my hands on dude. I'm not even playing. Like I said, I will fight a fucking man. And I'm trying so hard to keep my composure. I'm trying to keep myself together. I'm trying to not go to jail. I'm trying to be a lady. All right? I'm trying to be a lady. So he knocks on my window again. So this time I turn around and I look at his ass. So he opens up my car door. He's standing there in front of me. This fool done bought every rose at the gas station. He's got an armful of single roses. Right. I feel you. So he opens up the car door. He's standing there with his armful of like single roses. He bought like every rose at the gas station. And he's crying. He's got tears running down his face. And he's like, baby, I know that there aren't even enough roses in my arms for the times that I've messed up. He's like, but I love you, Kat. And he's like, and the thought of you moving on with your life and being with somebody else is literally destroying me. He's like, I can't do it. He's like, I can't sit back and think about you being on dates with dudes. I can't sit back and think about you being with other dudes. He's like, I can't do it. And I said, listen, you and I fight too much. It's constant fighting. It's constant turmoil. For like the past month straight, we've been doing nothing but arguing. And I can't do that. I just can't. Like, my stress level right now, with things going on with my father, with things going on with work, with things going on with my daughter, I just had heart surgery. I just can't do it. I can't take the stress level right now. I'm not for that shit at this time in my life. And he's like, I understand. He's like, I know I've been an asshole. I know that, like, all the things that we've been fighting about has been because of me. He's like, baby, I promise you I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I'm just like, ugh, I've heard all this fucking shit before. Like, this is nothing that I haven't heard before. So, anyway, I get out the car and I said, well, first of all, let's go inside and let's talk. I'm like, because I don't want to be the spectacle of your neighbors. It's nobody's business what we're even doing. So we go in the house and we sit down and we talk. You know, he's sobering up at this point. And he's like, I really wish that you would, like, give me a chance. And I told him, I'm like, I've been giving you chance after chance after chance. And I just can't keep doing the fighting. You keep accusing me of doing things that I'm not doing. You know, if I was doing it, I would tell you, because I just feel like this is going nowhere. And he's like, I've asked you to marry me. He's like, when I asked you to marry me, what did you say? I said no. He's like, right, you said no. He's like, so I waited a week or so. He's like, I asked you again, and what did you say? I said no. He's like, and then I asked you a third time, and what did you say? I said no. He's like, I've asked you to marry me 3 times, and 3 times you've told me no. And I said, because I'm in a situation right now. I'm in a situation where I jumped into a marriage that was foolish, that was stupid, that I didn't even think about, that, like, I can't even, like, looking back at the situation with Harry, I can't even believe that I did that dumb shit. And I'm not trying to do that dumb shit for a 3rd time. You know what I'm saying? There's just too much difference between him and I, period. So I ended up staying there Friday night. Saturday rolls around. I slept pretty much all day on Saturday because we didn't even go to bed till like 5 o'clock. I did wake up for a little while in the afternoon. I caught a little bit of YouTube stuff in the afternoon, and then I fell back to sleep. And now I'm up doing my own thing today. You know, I just, like, I don't know. I'm just not the one. I'm not going to go through this bullshit. I don't let no man disrespect me, especially to my face. There's no way. Not going to happen. But we'll see what happens. You know, he changed his phone number. He promised me he was going to change his phone number. He did change his phone number. You know, he's done a lot of different stuff that he said he was going to do, but all men do that shit. You know, they start off and they're like, oh, I promise you I'm going to do this. I promise you I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. And then they do it. But just because you change different things doesn't mean you change who you are. You know? It doesn't change the fact that you do some of the things that you do. And it doesn't change the fact that, like, no matter how many times you change your location, or you change your phone number, or you change this or you change that, you know, you delete your Facebook, you do whatever the fuck it is you say you're going to do, it doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change your behavior. It's just something to please somebody in the moment, you know. It doesn't fix anything. Making those kind of changes doesn't change your character, and it doesn't it's like a temporary fix is all it is. And I'm not one for a temporary fix. So that's just kind of how I feel right now. It's in that situation with him. And then I look at my life and I'm like, you know, I'm 40 years old. I don't have a job. I have a career. You know, I'm independent. I pay my own bills. I take care of my own shit. You know, I'm at the point in my life where, like, really, I don't even want to be in a relationship. I don't want to be committed to one particular person at this point in time. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy my life. My children are now at the ages in life where they're grown, and I can live for me. I've spent like my entire life living for my kids, and now I'm at the point in life where I can live for me. And that's just kind of what I want to do. I just want to live for me. Y'all feel me on that one? You know. So right now I'm headed to go and check on Harry's parents and see how they're doing. His father recently was ill and his mother fell and broke her shoulder. So I want to go and check on them before I head out to go watch football with my family. Old boy went to some friends of his house to watch football. They're having like a guys football party thing, so I don't have to see him all day, which makes me happy. Honestly, it makes me happy. I don't gotta look at his face all day. So, is that how you freaking Philly guys are? You guys are just rough and tough and assholes. Is that what Philly has to offer? A bunch of assholes? Because that's where he's from. He's from Philly. So, but yeah, I mean, that's just, that's my week and my weekend in a nutshell. I didn't really want to come live and talk about anybody, even though I have plenty of things that I could say about a couple of people. I'm not feeling those vibes today. Today, I'm just kind of feeling myself. I'm all decked out and ready to watch my team win. I'm ready to watch them go 5-0. My Super Bowl champs defend their title. So, but yeah, that's pretty much my weekend in a nutshell. It's been crazy. It's been a little hectic, dramatic, intense, whatever. So I talked to my daughter this morning. She's doing well. She said she hasn't had any more contractions. So I'm grateful for that. But other than that, that's kind of like where I'm at. Like I said, I really don't want to talk about anybody from YouTube in particular, even though there's quite a few things that I could say. I'm just not in that mood right now. And that might change later on today. It might change, but right now I'm just kind of vibing in my own world, doing my own thing. So, but anyways, you all enjoy your Sunday. I know that in some parts of the country right now, football is starting. So I've got 30 minutes. I got 30 minutes to run and do what I got to do and then get to my sisters to watch the game. So you guys have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy football. Enjoy life. Live for yourselves. Don't live for nobody else. Don't let anybody try to dictate or control your actions, your movements, or who you are. Don't live by anybody else's code. Live by your own. Know who you are. Stand up for yourself and be you. And love being you.